Okay, for our second example here, we are performing an experiment on the inheritance of plants. And in this experiment, they planted a whole bunch of seedlings. And what they found when they did this, once the seedlings bloomed, 853 of those seedlings were green and 252 of them were yellow. Now, theory about this particular type of seedling predicts that 75% of them should be green and the rest should be yellow. So what we want to test is, does the sample fit the expected frequency? Okay, so our observed values are fairly obvious. We can read those right out, that we observed 853 green and 252 yellow. So if we add that all up, that's a total of 1,005 seedlings. And I don't need anything special to calculate my expected values in this case. I just need a quick calculation that if we expected 75% of them to be green and we planted 1,105 of them, I can calculate that really quickly and see that there should have been about 828.75 green. And then the other 25% of them should have been yellow. And that comes out as 276.25. And if I add those expected counts up, it checks out that would end up with the same total. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's write our hypotheses. So my null is going to be that these two distributions are the same. I just need to explain it. Which two distributions am I talking about? So I have the distribution of plants in this experiment. And I'm going to claim it that is the same as, I'm just going to call it the 75-25 theory. Like, does it fit? Is it the same as the theory? Or alternately, I'm going to say these distributions are different. Then we should check our conditions to make sure we're good to run a chi-square test. So my condition is, are all the expected counts bigger than 5? I've only got 2 of them, and they pass with flying colors, so yes. And I wasn't told which alpha to use, so I might just make a note right here that I'll use the default alpha. And then we get to go to StatCrunch and run the test. So we're going to run the test and see, what is this chi-squared value? What is this p-value? So I'm going to flip over to StatCrunch. And I don't have anything for this, so I'm just going to type it in. So I have my outcomes, and my outcomes are either green or yellow. And then I've got what I observed. I observed 853, 252, while I expected 828.75 and 276.25. Once I type that in, I can go under my stat goodness of fit chi-squared, choose my observed, choose my expected, and then run it. And I'm going to go back and record my chi-squared and my p-value. So my chi-squared value is 2.84, and my p-value is 0.092. So now I'm ready to write my conclusion, and I'm going to say, since p came back larger than 0.05, we fail to reject the null. So I am unable to reject the null, which means I'm sticking with it. So it looks like there is not enough evidence to claim that the 75-25 theory is inaccurate.